Hey, everybody. Just watching. We're getting killed in the stock market today. It ain't doing very good for my crypto accounts neither, so I had to do a little swapping around. Hey, guys, this is Steve. I want to give you guys a update on Angelina County and also some of the comments that refer and kind of answer some of the questions that I have on the video directed to me, and I'll try to answer the best that I can. Remind me, one, to slow down because I speak Marine and I don't even know if that's a freaking language. I don't know. First thing first is that we have had good response, or we've had a number of individuals who are willing to share the video of Tyler Lopez. I think we've got 30,000, the last count 3,300 people who have seen this. I'm not for sure the majority, if they're in Angelina County or not. However, the fact is that the word is getting out because people have found my wife's name. Bless you. So so we have actually gotten the message across, and plus there's a lot of individuals who are sending it to Trent Ashby. I mean, everybody in the justice system outside of Angelina County is aware of the case. So we're looking for some kind of action or some kind of response from these individuals here in the near future. But some of the things that kind of I didn't understand, but when I thought about it, it makes sense. People of Angelina County and our surrounding counties have all grown up to believe that just because a cop stops you, you're in the wrong, and he can do whatever the system do whatever they want to with you. Now, in our justice system, and this is the justice system that you and I live under, there are no special rules for any county, any jurisdiction, because you're innocent until proven guilty. Now, in the Lopez case, what the main issue is that people, well, he did steal a truck. No, you didn't see him steal the truck. Well, he robbed the Target. No, you didn't see him do that. But you're assuming that you know the case because the fact is why. Do you want me to say it? It's because he's dark skinned, African American. I think that's a prejudice that goes along with not just being black, but I think it goes along with people that are actually living from paycheck to paycheck who are not, uh, don't have a lot of money, don't show a lot of money, just get by. Make sure their kids got kind of clean clothes, milks in the refrigerator, zippers on the stove, and they get to go to a good school. But imagine, if you will, if your son or your daughter would be arrested for a crime that they tell you, I didn't commit this crime. Tells the sheriff, I didn't commit this crime. Have the sheriff this close to just letting you go because he didn't have evidence to prove you of either crime. And he says, well, throw him in jail anyway. So that's a judgment call there on the sheriff. And I have to understand, I didn't see all the information, but he actually put the individual in jail. Sheriff Sanchez did not intend by any means, shape, form, or fashion. I mean, did not put him in jail for 2 years. I think he's guilty. No, he didn't say that. For those out there listening, please listen to what I'm saying, because the fact is that too often times, per example, the video, people watch parts of it and they don't really know if they'll just in the brain housing group just watch the video all the way through. All your questions will be answered. But for individuals who are stopped, who are harassed, who are beaten by cops, and we see it all around. Why do we think that we're any different? I don't know. But the fact remains is that the main preface on this case is simple. It's taken two to go to trial. Mr. Lopez has been locked up for 2 years. His bail was set at $500,000. He never heard the law. After 90 days, he gets a bail hearing for them to look and see if they can change the bail hearing to allow Mr. Lopez an opportunity to file a lower bail or to come up with a lower bail. Now, do you think that a crime committed, which the goods and services that were missing was $4,000? Do you think $4,000 equals a $500,000 fine? 2 weeks without a trial? An attorney who doesn't speak to you for 6 months and still has an issue with having the case. You can tell on Tatum whenever he goes in there, he doesn't want anything to do with his case. And thus, the proper material has been submitted up for his review. And if he has broken the law in any way, then that'll be coming from a higher power. They'll be coming from people above my pay grade. But people jump to conclusions, and this is the reason that happens in every small town. I'm just not singling out Angelina County. This happens in every small town. Small town gossip. By the time it gets to the 12th person, it's all blown out of proportion. Or they just don't tell you about it. From personal experience, and after talking to some of these individuals or elected officials or whatever, they tend to put a lot of evidence or a lot of attention to the appearance of Angelina County. Not what actually goes on here. The appearance. So in other words, it looks like they're following the law, but when you get down to the nuts and bolts, no, you can't do that. But they continue to do that. It's all a part of a big system, and you're not part of it, bro. And people have known this for a long period of time. However, the fact is that they won't say anything because the fact is they're afraid of the repercussions that they will have on them. Case in point, we have 3 individuals indicted for breaking a Public Meetings Act. That was actually these indictments were put up after the fact is that they denied the district attorney any money. In other words, what these individuals were questioning and what they were asking was this: you've had 34 people in your office in 2 years. Why can't you keep these people employed? What's the problem? Is it money? It seems to be a whole big argument here. Oh, we can't keep our officers because the fact is we're not paying them enough. Bullshit. If you're a law officer, you want to go to a good police office or a sheriff's office to where you know what, you got your crap together. You have a community-based system where you know the people, you know who's sketchy, you know who's not. The sketchy people you go and check on and say, what's going on, man? Whatever. And you develop a relationship with the people. You also continue education. You continue going to school based on current events that happen. Let me give you a point. Uvalde, I'm basing on this or whatever. I know you guys don't want to hear this anymore, but let's give you a case in point. Uvalde. If a situation like that happened at any school in Angelina County today, can you tell me, let's put it this way, I'll bet all the money in my pockets against all money in your pockets that our system cannot handle that. It'll be worse than Uvalde. This is what we get with a tight society who doesn't share information. How come I know that? Well, Huntington just had to purchase an ambulance vehicle over here, and they parked it by the City Hall building. They bought it, parked it, and they ain't never moved since. Still getting Lufkin ambulances coming out here, paramedics coming out here. That some bitch ain't moved. Excuse my language, but hey, I'm right. Ain't moved. So that's our appearance put on the facade that everything's great, but underneath the surface, it's rotten to the core. And that's what we have here. What is the, I do a lot of complaining. What is the answer? We have the answer. It's been told to us by many of our elders, by many of our people who've created the Constitution and actually laid down the laws. And it's expected to be followed. The, the best governments come from one simple thing: a well-informed public. A well-informed public, which creates an atmosphere of the newspapers can actually go and talk to these individuals and find out what the story is. Fear, not having to fear threats, not having the reporters having to feel threats, but print the proof, print, print the facts. I think I read that somewhere. I think it's the First Amendment. So right now, we're in Angelina County, we're trampling on our First Amendment. You have freedom of speech. No, you don't. Because that speech that you utilize will get you arrested because they'll find something. And they don't care. Well, we'll punish them, throw them in jail for 2 years, 3 years. No trial, no nothing like that. That comes under the Eighth Amendment. Cruel and unusual punishment. And also the fact is that punishment equals the fact is that Tyler Lopez couldn't get an attorney if he was out on bail. Well, guess what? He probably could have hired an attorney. He probably would have been in. He could have actually went into an attorney's office, prepared his defense when his attorney was actually present. And right now we have a court date of March 28th, and Tatum law firm has not even prepared a defense for him. Everyone is actually counting on him pleading guilty. So, if you have a crime that is being committed, okay, you can say whatever evidence you want to say to put it behind bars, whatever you want to say, because the fact is you only have enough information to get an indictment. The indictment means, well, I think we should investigate this further, that comes from our grand jury. What you don't get to hide the information, the discovery information from the defendant. Tatum is refusing to allow Tyler to see what evidence is against him, so he can make an educated decision. Well, you know what? Okay, don't want to take my chance with the jury because they may interpret this. Anyway, prepare his defense, and him and his attorney sit down and talk about how he's going to testify. That hasn't been done. And then the next thing I want to know is what judge allows Mr. Tatum law firm to practice law in his court if he's not performing his duties. I don't know. We should ask around. This is not a new situation. Judge Inselman has approached the city council members and has told them this is a problem. We need to get these people to trial. He has said that he hates the system that we have because the fact is not getting people tried who actually deserve a fair trial. Everybody does. If he's found guilty, fine, and judged by his peers. That's the system we operate. But now he's being judged by the public. And now you know the details. 9 out of 10 of you will say this. Well, you got to get what they deserve. They shouldn't be in jail. They shouldn't lock the door and lock them all up. They shouldn't put them all on the death penalty. They should do all this or whatever. That's not who we are. And if you think that's the way, if you think that, I don't want to know you. We have a set of laws and regulations that actually we have to follow. And if we're not following the Constitution, then whoever's not following the Constitution, they need to be held accountable for that. It's not rocket scientist. And there are no shortcuts. In the justice system, there are no shortcuts. I don't know if you guys remember from school, but remember the Lady of Liberty. She has a blindfold on her eyes, and then she's holding two scales. Most of the scales you look at, the one on the left is a little bit higher. That signifies that we're actually weighing the evidence. Do people actually walk free and they committed the crime? Well, yes, because the fact is that the district attorney or the attorney didn't have enough evidence, didn't present the evidence correctly. But that's our system. Because not only does it say innocent until proven guilty, it means that you cannot be treated as you're guilty while you're waiting on trial. This is wrong. It's against the law. It's against the Constitution. And it should be addressed here at the county level. But it's not. So all you individuals, and that right there, because I have learned one thing by living here in Angelina County. When you go over someone's house, let's say you get invited to a party or a barbecue or something like that, or you go fishing with a couple buddies or whatever, everybody will sit there and tell you what's exactly wrong with the county, what they would do, what they, how they need to have ideas on how they're going to fix it, all this, whatever. But guess what? Whenever people are listening, other people are listening. No problem here. So it hadn't affected you yet. So we're sitting here living with this. Now, the detrimental side of this is that every profession, I don't care if you're old or bigger, I don't care if you're tree cutter, I don't care if you cut grass, I don't care what you do, I don't care how you make a living, I don't care. But the thing about this is that poor people, or I would say this, people who have less than, are treated differently. Because of what? Well, because your family naming. Your father did something stupid back 50 years ago, so that's on your rap. It's on your record. But nobody in Angelina County will stand up because they're afraid. They're afraid of a few things. Number one, they're afraid of their reputation. They're afraid of being gaslighted, because the fact is, once they speak up and other people, that's why they keep it in the group, because the fact is they know they won't tell anybody out there. Well, he said, no. We're men. Or could be transgender. I don't keep up with this shit. I don't. But anyway, we're men. We stand up for what we believe. We stand up what we believe is right. And we face the county judicial system that it's not right, and we need to actually say something so we can guarantee that it's been put in place, that this is how it works. If not, whatever job that you would tell, you always try to push the envelope a little bit. You push a little bit, make a little bit more profit, maybe whatever, until they say, no, you can't do that. And you're like, okay, all right. But see, with the county, they'll push the envelope a little bit, they'll get away with it. They'll push a little bit more, then they'll push a little bit more, until finally you ain't got no damn right, you ain't got nothing. And then you're sitting there, where the hell did this come from? And that's where we're at in Angelina County. I challenge anybody, things that you tell your buddies or wherever when you're out fishing, your wife or family or whatever, in your ring of trust, say the same thing you said, say the same thing you're saying to them. They're not entitled. They're elected officials who're supposed to listen to you. They're elected officials who have to serve the public, and if they're not doing so, they need to hear about it. Not once since I've been here, except for Sheriff Sanchez, has anybody come on and defended his position, whatever, or he came on Facebook, because the fact is that the Lufkin Daily News, KTLL9, KLTV, they wouldn't report it. So he went out his way. I'm going out this way. There are still questions that I have in my mind. Why did Sheriff Sanchez resign when he had two years on? There's a reason why, because of that. Who's putting the pressure on the sheriff? And let me give you this, just in case you still disagree with me. Do you understand that right now on our county commissioner's office, we have one, two, three, count them, who are appointed, which means they're not elected by any of us. They serve special interest groups, special type of people, and that's how they will actually vote everything, every damn time. We even just appointed a constable who used to be a constable, now he's a sheriff. Do you see where we're going with this? It breaks every rule of the democracy. That's why we have elections. Because if we did not believe who they're going to appoint, we should be able to say so. But that didn't. No, we didn't. But I'll tell you this right now, to be honest with you, there is so many arrows that are leading to not only our justice system, but also with our entire system here in Angelina County. Mr. Flournoy, he actually put together a PowerPoint presentation of what's going on here. Now, what can you do? Well, doing nothing is not getting anything solved. So we need somehow, some way, some shape, form, fashion, agree to disagree on certain issues, but we agree. The fact is that, you know what, these elected officials are appointed. They're going to follow the laws of the land. They're going to follow the laws that you and I can read, so we know we're breaking the law. No more gray areas. Some of you around here who have dealt with the law enforcement officers around here, whatever, you ain't doing nothing, but you know what? He wants to harass you, so guess what? He'll freaking make up a shitload of freaking charges, throw them all on you. Then after 2 years, you go to trial, you found innocent. But see, here's the thing: they've got you because the fact is, you know what? Every time you get arrested, it appears on your driving record. So all stuff that he accused you of that you didn't do, it's on your rap sheet. They call and find out, and they will tell you, oh, he's a suspected terrorist. He was arrested for terrorism, or he was arrested calling the SWAT team and everything. It's intimidation. It's happened to me in boot camp in the Marine Corps, so I can recognize it a mile away. But we allow this to happen because the fact is that we are not involved. That some people can't be involved. Some people work too hard. Some people work all the time. Some people don't. It doesn't take long to actually go on Facebook and put your 2 cents in on a page. But people won't do that either, because if you see you post it on a page, and guess what? They categorize you just for having a comment. Is that the kind of county we want to live in? Just because you say something people don't like, and they freaking gaslight you, and they don't stop gaslighting you. They'll talk shit behind your back. They'll talk about you, your mama, your brother, your sister, everybody. To get everybody on board, make sure that they think that you're a piece of crap. And okay. Because the fact is, everybody's saying it, so it might as well be true. But here's where I draw the line. Because as long as they're gaslighting you, guess what? It's even going to the point to where your kids are being bullied in school just because of the last name. Just because of their last name. Just because they can't afford the new sneakers. Just because they can't afford the latest fads. Just because that they have to get up every morning and they have to feed cows, feed whatever early. Sometimes they're late for school, so they got to go in their work jeans. But those type of people are who they set up. Oh, he's what's his name? This kid goes to school, never puts clean clothes on. The bickering between us has got to stop and direct it to where it needs to go. They have caused this problem. Now it's time for us to actually take our county back and say, no, not yet. We're not done yet. We still live in a democracy. I was approached by some people or whatever, and not from Angelina County. Hell, nobody talks to me in Angelina County. But anyway, I was approached by individuals, and they asked me, they said, man, how do they get away with that? I mean, because they see the video, they ask me questions or whatever. They're like, man, I said, dude, it goes back 100 years. I want the way that the Confederacy was ran, and we still have that mentality. Now, I don't know. I can't find any my family or anything fought in the Civil War. I would probably doubt it because I'm of Irish descent, and I would probably doubt the fact is that somehow we got missed. We didn't get drafted or whatever, and then I don't know about my heritage or whatever, and I don't care. That's ancient freaking history. I don't care. My job as a citizen is to make things better. If it's broke, find out how to make things better. And it takes an informed community to do so. It takes pressure on these individuals to release the information that is properly ours. We pay for it. We pay for the paper, we pay for the pen that it was written on. And it's public information, and we need, if we request it at any safe time before fashion, you need to provide it to me. So I can make sense of this crap. All this says is that the more freedom of information requests that are put in by the public, really, if you look at it on the outside, it's this, because they're not being truthful with the people. And they want to hide something. I don't know about you, but if you're hiding something from me and you're not telling me the truth, and I don't freaking trust you with anything. So every decision that you make, I'm questioning it, because the fact is, you know what, you lied to me on that one. I don't know about y'all, but you know what, you lied to me once. Well, for me, it's like, you lied to me once, now you ain't gonna get a second chance. Stay on the truth, we'll do it. But where we look at it as well, I want to make this statement, is that there are individuals that out there that abuse the Freedom of Information Act to pump out premium. It's like pumping out paper or whatever. That's done because the fact is that they're grown men, grown women. They can do whatever they want to do or whatever, but it's not going to help solve the problem. It's just going to drive them back underneath it. It's just going to drive them in a hole, and they won't talk to anybody. So that's where we're at as far as Lopez case. This is where we're at. So I'd like to do a video, more videos. If I get some input back from people, you guys can ask some questions, call me all kind of names or whatever. Look, man, I'm a Marine. I've been called every damn thing. You got to catch up. You know, me. I've been shot at, missed, and shit at, and hit so many damn times. I don't know. So what happened to me in Afghanistan? That's it. But I do take note, and I do take solace in one thing. Twice in my life, I signed because I was older. And Marine Corps takes a lot out of you. It takes, it bears on you every day. So I went to the Army. Didn't get me out of Army training, didn't get me out of anything, except the fact is that I deployed with the Army to Afghanistan. I suffer from chronic PTSD in my sciatica, because I was torn the hell up. My both knees, I don't even know if they work half the damn time. And I got freaking Kabul lung, which is burn pit exposure. Doctor probably give me 2-3 years. So really, I don't give a shit. I'm just trying to tell you how you make how you can make your county better, utilizing the rights that a lot of men and women have fought for you to have. Use them. It's better for everybody. So I'm on Facebook. I got a Facebook, Angelina County Watchdog. That's where I post stuff. I also got a regular page. I see there's another page with Janet Castles on there as well. I don't know who else there. It's there, and you can put comments there, but it's not mine. The only one that I have is Angelina County Watchdog. I appreciate you guys joining up. Appreciate you guys joining the conversation. And if we can start a conversation on Facebook with positive results are good ideas from everybody. We benefit from it. And this room is not downgrade anybody. It's not. It won't be utilized that way. What it will be utilized is to help you spread the message, and also your current issues that you have with the county. More people will see it. More people will share it. People share it. My wife, shut up. Uh, more people see it, and then more people will be aware. And here's the reason why that is. It's because Angelina County is a bubble. Like this. No information in, no information out. So what we need to do is we need to get more people outside looking in. Raise your hand and say, hey, this ain't right. That's how we get something done. Or we can actually have a fair and justice being provided to us. And we can start building our community instead of letting elected officials tear it down. That's what it comes to. So you guys hit me up, put a share. I'm gonna start doing more videos. I know I don't have that many followers, but I don't do shit because the fact is that, like I said, I like and share it on YouTube and my other pages on Twitter or whatever. I get a pretty good audience, so it's like, you know what are y'all waiting on? So hit me up, guys. Hit me with questions or whatever. I'm here available at all times or whatever. If you have a request, if you want me to do some research, if you want to do whatever, I can do that too, free of charge. Pretty good research. So you guys be good, be careful, keep your powder dry, and think about what I said. Think about what I said and see if that affects you. I am